Scream time salutations to all you internet dwellers out there, and welcome to another episode of Screen Time Continuum. I am Nick, and I am joined, as always, by Keelan. What's up, man?
Can't complain, can't complain. It's Sunday, and kind of looking forward to starting a new week. This was a long week, so hopefully the next week is a little easier going. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I can feel that. That's for sure, especially with this heat going on right now. So
that's a big part of it.
It's gonna be it might be another long week, but we got the mustard here. Dijon, how's it going, bro?
Not too bad. I agree with Geenan. I'm ready for the next week.
Sounds good.
And we're going to be jumping into the 4th of July weekend. So
true. Yeah, that's already come up so fast. My goodness.
And I want to get this heat wave over with too.
Same. Yeah, big time. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for listening. We very much appreciate it. Please feel free to leave a comment while we're live, and we will do our best to respond to you during, but definitely at the end of the show. So get those comments in there, and we are going to be talking tonight about the Happytown Murders, which is on Netflix. It is a puppet show. Well, not a puppet show, a Muppet show, because I should say that the director is the son of Jim Henson. Mm-hmm. So Brian Henson is the director of this, which I thought was kind of interesting because I did not know that he took this sort of branch from the Henson what do you call that, the business or whatever.
Yeah. Well, what I found interesting really quick with you being shocked by him being involved, his sister, it seems like all of his children are somewhat involved. Because even his sister has credits in the movie as well. And when you finish about the director and that, I have some other things I wanted to add that I thought was very interesting about the just the background, like who helped make and create this movie.
All right, yeah, go for it right now. I mean, it's directed by Brian Henson. The writers are Todd Berger and D. Austin Robertson. It stars Melissa McCarthy, Elizabeth Banks, and Maya Rudolph.
Right. Which are all great actors.
Yes.
That's a universal term at this point, right? So I found interesting, I found this out by accident. I was scrolling through the IMDb. I always get it wrong. And I accidentally clicked casting, and I saw that Janine McCarthy was one of the casting directors, and I'm like, okay, I wonder if they're related to Melissa. And without even worrying about that, I found out something way more interesting. This person was also one of the casting directors for the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and Sonic, and White Men Can't Jump, and like a plethora of other great movies and shows, Space Force with Steve Carell. Just an interesting backdrop. But initially, I wanted to mention the two that we've covered, Sonic and the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. So the same person is kind of helping facilitate this for us simply by knowing who to put in the cast.
Yeah, that's a pretty prolific career there, that's for sure. Some pretty good movies. But yeah, so I mean, I don't really know how to go about reviewing this movie. So maybe let's just get the first impressions off first. We'll go with Keelan.
First impressions, I liked this movie, but let's be clear. I am the kind of person, I've watched pretty much every puppet rendition movie that I can think of. We could probably go down the list right now. I'm sure we've all seen either all of them or the majority of them. And I don't think it's even by force. I think we were just around for that era. So this intrigued me just by that alone. Along with that, love Melissa McCarthy. It's funny because I can honestly say, like, I've been kind of following her career since Gilmore Girls, which is interesting to say. Like, a lot of people don't realize it. Right, yeah. Most people don't even realize it's the same person. And so, yeah, I'll just lead with those two things right there. That's my initial. I loved it, and I loved the casting, which clearly, right?
It's so funny because I can never gauge what you guys are going to like or not. So I'm always like sitting here like, oh, man, are they going to like it? Are they going to like it? So, Dijon, what did you think? Sober me up a little bit. See, I can't get a gauge on it.
See,
I love
this movie left me with a sugar high.
Okay.
I
Right.
agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Do you have a Muppet liver?
Shit, I wish. I wish.
Really quick, not to cut off your
Yeah.
initial reaction, Dejan, but can we all just agree? If it was just sugar, like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be, or maybe it is because sugar is in almost everything. High fructose. Never mind. Back to the movie.
For me, I would wonder, because I'm pre-diabetic, and I would wonder, would that all this fucking cancel out for me? I'm just like,
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm all up for it.
You feel like the Deadpool of sugar.
Oh, that's dope.
And I can down all the vanilla cokes I want.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so what did you think, man?
You know, interesting enough, I didn't know really what to think jumping in this because it's funny you speak of Deadpool. The first time I came across this movie was legitly when I went to go see Deadpool 2.
Mm.
When did Deadpool 2 come out? What, 2017?
17, yeah, I think so.
So it was one of the trailers. And me and the people that went to go see it was very hyped to go, like, hey, that shit's going to be funny. We got to go see that.
Mm.
I never did get the chance to go see it because a year later I was dealing with being a father and seeing a new kid come out and everything and all that good stuff. So people I talked to in reviews I've read and or watched on YouTube, people like this talk mad shit about the movie. So I was just like, oh, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie.
Mm.
And oddly enough, coming across this and finally getting the chance to watch it, I have no complaints. I enjoyed it for what it was worth. So I'm just like, it made me start to think more and more about people's taste and how people perceive movies. Like, what are you sincerely looking for? Where it's basically a billboard is painted in front of you for what you're going to be expecting yourself to jump into.
Mm-hmm.
Not like we're going to go see Green Lantern, then we see how that turned out.
Hey, right. Yeah. No, I could definitely agree with you on that for sure. I was surprised that I enjoyed it as much as I did. I thought for sure it was going to be tedious, but I felt like the story flowed pretty well. It was it was a cookie cutter story. We kind of knew what was going to happen, but to be honest, I didn't know that the bad guy was going to turn out to be who it was. So I was like, and it's not because I was thinking, you know what it was, is because the movie disarmed me so much that I just didn't even think critically about it. And so when that twist came up, I was like, oh, okay, cool. That makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was going to be Elizabeth Banks, to tell you the truth.
Right.
Well, it kind of was.
Kind of, yeah.
But it was perfect carpet. Fucking wrong, man.
Oh man,
so wrong. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and that is one thing you can say about this movie. It is quite raunchy. It has moments of raunchiness, but then there's a lot of comedy and a lot of earnestness to it too. For some reason, watching puppets get shot was like really satisfying to me. Right. For some reason, like I don't know why, but it was just hilarious when a puppet got shot in the head. It's just like poof.
Right. The blood splatter, you just get fucking cotton.
Feathers everywhere.
Just feathers and cotton, yeah.
I think that was a play on those satisfaction videos on YouTube, right? Mm. Because I can admit that I didn't get it at first, and people were like, no, just watch like one or two of them, you'll get it. And I'm like, no, I don't. And next thing you know, I'm sitting there watching a 20-minute video of things being pressed with one of those hydraulic press.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And every time they do something that has cotton or feathers, then it just explodes everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's somehow satisfying. So I think this hit on that really hard.
Definitely.
Over and over. Sorry.
Yeah. And I thought it was actually pretty clever because, I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know if I was expecting blood and guts, but it makes so much more sense that it would just be stuffing inside of a puppet.
I mean, like rainbow stuffing, maybe.
That would have been good.
Rainbow stuffing.
That would have been good.
Rainbow stuffing would have been good for purple carpet.
Oh, yeah. And maybe for the rabbit, too. I felt so bad for that little rabbit.
I did feel kind of bad for the rabbit.
Oh, I can just imagine that rabbit. What the fuck was that glitter shit? Was that pee?
It was pee.
Oh, that was, no. See, you guys think that was pee. He was moist. Yeah, that's what that was.
I think we should have a disclaimer on this video before we even send
Oh,
it
hey,
out.
listen, we didn't make this movie. This movie is raunchy by itself.
That
I
is
mean,
true.
I tried to count the amount of F-bombs and then I forgot I was doing it because there were so many. And I
Mhm.
like after I was trying to remember his real name too, Stanley, the lieutenant.
Yes,
When he came in, he said, "The fuck is wrong with you two?" I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great.
yeah.
This is gonna be amazing."
It's nice to see that guy in other stuff. I like him.
Oh yeah, I can honestly say I will take him in any movie if he gets to drop 4 F-bombs in that film. It's gonna be worth it.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if we have to go beat by beat. Do you guys have any favorite spots in this that you wanted to bring up?
I just gotta say, I ran out of lifesavers.
Oh no.
Sorry to hear it. Sorry to hear it. Look, and just don't imagine watching this movie when you decided you're not going to eat any candy or anything high and like high content of sugar for like a few weeks.
Yeah, that is true.
This guy right here, who does that and then watches this. Now, in full disclose, like just being straight honest about it, it's week 2, and I was probably only going to do 2 weeks.
There you go. Now you
Just gotta have some moderation in life, man.
Now you can do a couple lines of sugar.
Oh yeah,
like
I'm definitely going to pick up some pixie sticks from somewhere.
Right.
But a moment I wanted to point out that I thought was really cool. One of my favorite torture motherfucker lines. I'm gonna sew your asshole closed and keep feeding you and feeding you. For those who don't know where that comes from, that I love that. Like, okay, so the METHOD man has a skit right before it that most people haven't heard because they never heard the album version of the song.
Mm-hmm.
So, they've only heard like the radio version, et cetera, video version. The album version has a skit, and I want to say that's Ghostface. And it might it's Raekwon and Meth. And they just it's a skit called Torture, and they just going back and forth saying about all the messed up things they would do to each other. So when Phil gets back to his office and Bubbles is like, "Oh yeah, she called," and I can't remember who it was that was calling, but the concept was whoever it was, he didn't want to talk to them, and they knew he was dicking them around. So it's like, "Oh yeah, when I see you, I'm gonna sew your asshole closed and keep feeding you and feeding you." And I just thought it was a great place for them to put that in. For guys like me or people like me who are huge Wu-Tang heads and caught that immediately. Like I paused the movie to make sure I wasn't tripping.
Yeah. I don't know. I can only pick out like a few things in my mind, and one of them is the cow squirting all over the place, and I mean, like that's probably just burned in my head now. So I don't know if I could really say
burned in his head.
Yeah,
that is
true.
It reminded me a lot of Orgasmo for some reason. That moment reminded me of Orgasmo or Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Yeah, got the same sort of vibes for sure.
Definitely.
I don't know, man. Do you guys have any other like scenes that you wanted to talk about? It's kind of a simple movie, so there's not a whole lot to talk about here. It's basically just a classic detective tale, a whodunit, and
a great puppet game of Clue.
A puppet game of Clue. Yeah, I did definitely cringe at the puppet sex scene. I don't know if anybody else did.
Only the enormous silly string moment. That was kind of crazy.
A little bit.
And the FBI agent Joel, I forget his. I know his name's Joel.
Joel McHale.
Bill McHale.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his name?
Joel McHale.
Oh, Joel McHale. Okay, I'm like Bill. I thought it was Joel.
That's the guy from Community, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I just knew his first name was Joel. Him being the like asshole cop was just funny.
Yeah,
that was just hilarious. Like he walks in, the silly string or puppet falls off the ceiling, hits him on the shoulder. Bubbles just like, let me get that for you. And it was a great, and that's why I think mentioning the casting for me was a big thing. The story was great, but the way the story was acted out by the great talents that had come together to make this, that's what stood out for me. And the puppeteers, like the motions of the puppets were so. It's weird to say realistic, but they were inept for every scene. Like they were spot on for what a puppet could do.
Yeah.
In most of these scenes.
I certainly agree. And, the character designs of the puppets were all really interesting. I like the skeezy, vulture at the sex shop. That was that was a good puppet design.
What's a vulture for?
Right.
Yeah, he died too soon for me.
He did die too soon.
Yeah, he didn't have to die, but he pulled the gun. So there you go.
Fair.
But I think, and that's the thing for me. That's why I enjoyed this movie. It was well put together. Everything really fell in place, and they kept you entertained. Like, even if you thought you were going to have a down moment, from learning about the different characters to actually viewing the story and how it was going, to learning more about Phil and Edward's relationship. I actually expected their relationship to be a little more weird than it was. Like, it started really rough, but then it got really smooth. It was like, oh, you guys are friends. It's like that. It reminded me of that. I can't remember of any show that I could think of or movie, but it reminded me of that moment in real life that I've had. I think we've all had, with that friend who is like, it's not that you have anything against them or there's an issue. You just haven't talked to them in forever. So it's like whatever is perceived in the fantasies of both of your minds, that's what's going on until you sit and talk. So that's what their relationship reminded me of. And I think that's a great relationship to have for a cop movie, because that's kind of what this is.
Yeah. Yeah. Buddy cop film for sure.
Definitely. And I just like the way a lot of the things were put together. Even the breakdown of the BoJack Horseman style breakdown of where all of the puppets are today. Versus where they were and we didn't even get a lot on, who they were when they were on the show and all of that. We just.
Oh yeah. Well, another key feature of this that I like is that it's only an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah. It was very short, or very to the point, I would say.
It was a tight story, which is good. I mean, I don't know how much more you could go, with doing it with the puppets, but yeah, I thought it was a good short story. I like Maya Rudolph in it. I liked Melissa McCarthy. Melissa McCarthy was funny in this as well, and I like the actor who plays what's his name, the main puppet,
Phil.
Yeah.
What I never even thought to look. I know the voice, but I didn't think to look and see who that was.
Ryan Tran.
What would I remember him from?
It sounds familiar.
It does. His voice sounded familiar.
Yeah, his voice definitely was like, okay, I know this voice, but I couldn't place from where.
Right. Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's a good thing, because you don't have this large level of expectancy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He was a child actor.
Yeah.
So he's been around a while. We've probably seen him in more things than we're aware of.
And that fits too. The whole child actor coming in as an older dude in one of these movies that kind of like depicts the idea of like child stars or like young stars going into what they do.
I'm sorry. I think I might be wrong on this one. I don't think he's a child actor, actually. I think he's only been acting since 2014, but maybe he's just younger, because I can't find an age or anything on him. Come on, IMDb. I pronounced it right this time. Now get more information on Ryan Tran for us. Thanks.
Well, you guys got anything else? I mean, this is probably going to be a short episode because we don't have a whole lot to cover on this, but
granted. Again, the breakdown of everything, the drugs, the tie-in of the beginning to the end. I really I enjoyed the way all of this was done. Like, if I could watch this movie again on air right now with whoever wants to join us, and I would do it. Just like, even like, there's not much to really, it's just that good of a little flick where it's like, I could watch this back to back.
Yeah. Ooh, you know what would be a good idea if we can do it? Rewatch one of the movies and just have a commentary with all of us.
Yeah, Mystery Science 3000 style.
Ooh, no, that's nice. I'm
down for that.
We could do Ghostbusters with Melissa McCarthy in there.
Oh man,
I have not seen that, actually.
Man,
really quick, I wanted to also mention something else I thought was very cool about the movie. It's how real world they made it, like the division between humans and puppets. And not just the division between humans and puppets, but the difference in the way that different puppets and different humans see that. Melissa McCarthy's character, Officer Edwards, the fact that she's half puppet, half human, that's crazy.
Well, she has a puppet liver.
Yeah, puppet liver, right? But yeah, it's just okay. So maybe it's not that she's half and half, but she got a transplant and the puppet liver
Yeah,
helped
but
her.
they
Wow,
still
that's
they
crazy.
kind of look at her as half half. But I'm more curious, which I don't think they haven't really addressed in that movie, which would have been nice. The whole the interracial like
Or
relationship.
interspecial.
Yes,
Mm,
interspecial thing. Yeah, no,
that
we
is
get it.
true. Well, now I mean, you can get the sequel with Bubbles and Phil, right?
You definitely will get the sequel with Bubbles. Can we say how amazing Maya Rudolph is? Can we just
She's great.
love her and everything? No, I can't think about like two things I actually didn't care for, but it's Maya Rudolph, so you kind of look past it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
She's got a charm to her.
uh, yeah, yeah. It Minnie Riperton's her mother, man. I'm like, it's just genetics, I guess. I
Right.
don't know, you know. Um, Other than that, though, yeah, no, I'm with you, Nick. There is not much to really mention, but I strongly encourage anyone who has not seen this, check it out. It's on Netflix. It's really, really feel good flick, man. Get you through your weekend, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Be a nice 4th of July flick just to see shit go.
There you go.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's good there, man. I think we said what we needed to say. It's an hour and a half long flick with Muppets in it, and if that can't sell you, there's R-rated elements throughout. So,
Man.
Go ahead and check it out. I don't know if I could say that this is my favorite R-rated puppet movie, though.
There's other R-rated puppet movies.
Definitely. Oh yes,
Team America.
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
I didn't finish that movie. I got disturbed after the whole dick sucking thing. I was just like, okay.
Yeah,
Understand.
but yeah, it's definitely up there. It's close to Team America, but I don't think it's overthrown Team America and best R-rated puppet.
If I had to watch it in mixed company, and what I mean by that is people who I don't really know where they stand on certain things, I choose this over Team America for sure.
That is true. Team America is way more offensive.
Yeah, and controversial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody gets offended too goddamn fast in these days.
Oh man, that movie couldn't even be made anymore. Do the youngsters
surprised
know
this
about
movie
that
was
movie?
made. Right, they're definitely going to try to cancel it, but I mean,
I know.
South Park canceled themselves, so they wouldn't have to.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing for the record.
There's not enough Muppet stuff I've seen. Like honestly, I grew up with the Muppets here and there, Sesame Street. I really can't say more than that.
I mean, did you watch Barney? Because technically he's a puppet, or a Muppet, you know.
You know what? I did, but retrying.
Told you our whole era. That's all it was.
With a 2-year-old right now, I kind of like. It's just not like, dude. How the hell do I? How did I watch this?
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't think they're watching the same Barney.
It's fascinating to 2-year-olds, that's for sure.
Yeah. Be glad that your brain's not still entertained by that.
Right.
Blippi?
Oh no, don't do it.
All right. Well, do you guys want to get
to sunny shine? What is wrong with you?
Do you guys want to get to your ratings? This out?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I'm really sitting here in my brain going through a quick run through of the movie. Like, okay, this happened. Yeah, we really covered everything.
It's short and sweet.
It is really. I really didn't even realize it was an hour and a half. I actually thought it was more like a 40-minute. Like it felt like a TV show.
It did.
It was that nice.
Like I said, who wants to go first?
You?
That's the second. That's the second time in a row.
Right. That's not fair.
All right, we'll go.
I'll do it.
I'll go first. Nope. I got it.
Do it. Nope.
I'll move you out the way.
We can rock paper scissors this shit real quick.
I got hands. What you talking?
Sarah. Those are fighting words.
Go first. Go. All right.
Wait. Nick gotta call it. We can't. You gotta put your hand closer too, because you're back.
Let me.
I'll tell you when to count down or to start.
Give me 1 sec.
Okay.
Best of one.
Goodbye, background.
Yeah.
Best of one.
Serious.
I'm calling it now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
Game
right.
7, baby.
Not even 2 out of 3. Okay, show hands. All right. Yeah, you got to make sure you see the bottom too, because I don't want any weird stuff like, you could go like
I could be doing something else with that hand.
You could be. Okay. Ready? Okay.
I was trying to laugh.
Countdown. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Hey, you
Steven
cheated.
goes first.
Elbow drop. No,
Nice.
good job. Good game, sir. My rating, I liked it, but I don't think I liked it enough to give it too high of a rating compared to some of the other things we've seen.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to give it about a 6.5, 6 flat maybe, but 6.5 because you put Melissa McCarthy and Maya Rudolph in the same movie and they had excellent roles. So casting gets an extra half a point.
Fair. Dijon?
I give it a 7.5 for the simple reason that it's a little bit more than what I expected. The hype was there to a bit to. Let me see that. Nah, I take the hype back. It was good for what it was worth because you know what? It was generic on its for storytelling on its own merit for a detective thing / kind of a raunchy com. Along with that, it was unique. You haven't seen that done quite. You actually have not seen this done. So uniqueness wise, I thought that was pretty cool. Now, by you guys mentioning Jim Henson's son actually did this, I just felt what would have probably made this more like an 8 or 9 for me if they have brung some cameos from like some of his father's shit.
Oh, they
just to
can't
throw it in there
tarnish.
for fun.
Yeah, no,
They can't tarnish.
They can't put
Kermit.
that in this rated R movie, man. Come on.
Yeah. They'd have to get
or at least
yeah.
have like these kind of like knockoff characters to kind of get like
I could see that.
Okay.
I'm gonna make fun of like Big Bird, or I'm gonna make fun of like fucking
that's Sweetums.
I think they did that.
other people.
I think they kind of did that. The boar was kind of Oscar the Grouchish. You know, trying to eat everything. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I think
I think one more thing for the whole Happy Time gang, I would have loved to see like different outcomes for their life to a point, because I mean, well, just different outcomes because it seems like everybody was just on a drug,
Done.
just like either rock bottom or even more rock bottom, or they're just not doing shit. It just seemed like his brother actually like, hey, I'm good.
He Sammy Sosa himself.
I was gonna say Michael Jackson himself.
Yeah, but Mike was never as dark as Sammy.
Very true.
And Mike was never as light as Sammy either. Mike was white. He wasn't pink.
Right.
Just saying.
And
with you saying that, right? And with you saying that, that's what I meant when I said it was very BoJack Horseman-ish, the way the former cast had come down.
Haven't seen that yet.
Okay. I won't say anything more then.
But I do want to see it because of who's voicing BoJack.
Great watch. It's almost like watching Arrested Development, the animated version.
Then maybe
Nice.
I will.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree somewhere in the middle between you guys. I think I'm gonna just land this at a 7. I thought it was good. It was just short, sweet. It was funny at points, not overly funny, but it did have some clever moments. It let me turn my brain off enough to not see the twist at the towards the end about who done it, which was good. I thought that was nice. It was interesting to see puppets that or Muppets that are not wholesome. That's pretty funny. You're gonna definitely get a laugh out of me anytime you're blowing a puppet's head off with a gun. So that's pretty funny. And I think a solid 7 is good.
It's puppet sex.
And puppet sex,
Puppet sex.
Very awkward, cringeworthy puppet sex, yeah.
Hey man, there's nothing wrong with a little muffin grind, fluffing grind. Oh,
there you go. I like it.
One bush I did not have to see.
Oh God,
no.
yeah, I
More
could
than
definitely
one.
have done without the basic instinct moment.
Just like Daniel Radcliffe's dick.
Oh no! I'm so glad I missed that. And you keep bringing it up.
Oh man!
I wanted to rewatch that movie because somebody asked me about it, and they was like, "Oh man, I didn't see it. You want to watch it?" And I was like, "Yeah, nah, you can go ahead." It's like, why you don't want to watch it no more? I watched the show. I said I liked it. And I'm thinking like, oh, you missed one part of that show, huh? Because I don't. And the best thing for me is I don't know where you saw it, and don't tell me. But I don't know what scene it was. And because of that, I'm afraid to watch the movie.
Bathroom scene.
Oh my God!
I
said don't. I said do not.
It's like a horror movie.
You got to know when you're watching it with friends next time, and you're like, you know what? I gotta go take a piss real quick.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some more snacks.
Yeah.
I just want to comment on Nick.
Hmm.
On the, you never know when the dick's gonna pop out.
It was a dick in a box there.
Terrible.
Yep. All right. Well, good. That's what? Let's see. We're at
21 of
20.5.
30. Mhm.
20.
No, 21. Because Dijon, you had a 7.5, right?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, 21 out of 30. Perfect. Which is a 7.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Average of 7. I can work with that.
Average. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. We certainly did, and we hope that you watched the Happy Time Murders because we certainly enjoyed it. It's fun, it's irreverent, it's silly, it's puppets. Come on, how can you say no? But please be sure to give us a thumbs up and perhaps a subscription to our YouTube page. It would really help us out. We're trying to grow that base. But thank you so much. We very much appreciate all of you guys. If you want to check out what Keelan does on his podcast Tuesday nights at 6 p.m., If Numbers Could Talk, please go make sure you check him out on Facebook and YouTube. He's also a part of the Thinkering Talks page. He's on at Tuesday night, 6 p.m., If Numbers Could Talk. Make sure you go check him out. I also have a podcast called Exofathom. It's on Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. We're on the Thinkering Talks page, but we also have a YouTube page and a Facebook page, all at Exofathom. And Mr. Dijon has his Twitch stream up and running and his YouTube page. So if you can't make the Twitch streams, he posts all of his streams on YouTube the next day. That is Strawberries and Coffee. Go check him out. Is doing some great work playing Conquer Live and Reloaded, having a lot of fun there. And he's a great host. So please make sure you check him out. It is Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. Strawberries and Coffee on Twitch. And then the next day on YouTube, Strawberries and Coffee. But if you're just a purist and you want to listen to us babble about movies and critique things for which we have no credentials, thank you very much. Thank you for taking this trip through the Screen Time Continuum with us. For Screen Time Continuum, I am Nick.
I am Keelan.
And I'm the mustard.
Good night, everyone.